Alright boys, welcome back to another Charger video. Thunder Alley here. Today we're going to be discussing days 1 and 2 of Minicamp. The biggest news was without question Rashawn Slater being present after missing all of last week. I mean, he's one of the best players in football, not only left tackles. Of course, this Charger team, they know that they've got to get an extension done for him ASAP. And even though Slater was not present last week, he was training out in Texas, and Jim Harbaugh, unsurprisingly, said he's in great shape. He's ready to go. Looked at midseason form. And then today, day 2, we saw some of the younger players make big-time catches. Of course, Brendan Rice had one of the day's best plays with a touchdown grab over Tarheeb Still. Tight end Arande Gadzin, the second, was the most active pass catcher with a bunch of catches, a few in traffic. We also saw Trey Harris have a nice catch with Dante Jackson all over him in coverage, and then safety RJ Mickens actually picked off Justin Herbert on a deep ball. Would be awesome if we had the footage so we could go over it, but copyright reasons we're not going to be able to do that. Ladd McConkey caught a pass on a crossing route over the outstretched arms of two defenders, showed his hands late to make the play. I'm super excited about Ladd McConkey going into year 2. I think a lot of people are still sleeping on him. I mean, nobody's doubting his talent, but he's going to be one of the best receivers in football, and now he's got more weapons around him at the tight end position, at the receiver, of course, outside specifically. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who I'm most excited about, though, is Omarion Hampton, of course, out of North Carolina. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman said that he's been impressed with him as a player. Quote, he's a total package. You don't see a lot of guys find a hole like he's doing right now, end quote. Pause, but Derwin James also said yesterday that Hampton has been impressive. Minicamp day 1 notes, so this was yesterday. I'm recording this on Wednesday night, so this was Tuesday. So Rashawn Slater back, worked with Bozeman at left guard, Johnson at center, Becton at right guard, and all at right tackle. So interestingly enough, I don't think anybody's surprised that that was the rotation for the offensive line. There is a battle currently at center with Andre James and Zion Johnson. But yeah, putting Bozeman at left guard, I mean, it's just interesting. I didn't think he'd even be brought back. And then here he is, and I'm thinking, okay, it's for depth, and now he's going to be starting at left guard. But Zion, he didn't work out at left guard, so moving him over to center makes all the sense in the world. I mean, for all we know, guys, the answer could be Mekhi Becton at that right guard position. I think he's going to transform this line and help the Chargers be unstoppable offensively. They were just missing that interior presence, so I'm hoping it works out. I do believe in them. Kim Hart back in team drills. Veteran Mike Williams was also working off to the side. We saw Elijah Molden, who was brought in like right before the season, of course, last year. Keandre Lambert-Smith, Dean Leonard. So, yeah, there's just guys getting working. Everyone's out there present. You love to see it. But the biggest story was, like I said, Rashawn Slater. After missing all of the Chargers' OTA sessions prior to this week, left tackle Rashawn Slater was not only in attendance for Tuesday's start to mandatory minicamp, he was also a full participant throughout the entire day. Slater sitting out OTAs for the first time in his career was unsurprising given that the former first-round pick is currently in the midst of negotiating a new contract. This will be the final year of Slater's rookie deal, as he's expected to earn $19.2 million. And yeah, I told you guys about Harbor. I'm not going to repeat it. But just having Slater out there, like I say, he's one of the best players in football. He's a leader in the locker room. They need him out there working with the rest of the offensive line and the coaching staff, and it's good to have him back. That was certainly something that Charger fans, including myself, were monitoring the entire summer so far, was what's going to happen with Rashawn Slater. It seems like an obvious choice to give him whatever contract he wants. He's earned it in the first several years of his career. He just seems to be getting better and better. He's been dominant. Khalil Mack actually spoke about why he came back to the Chargers, and he said that he still wants to win a Super Bowl and thinks he has a great chance to do so here. Also said he misses Joey Bosa. He texted him last week. Yeah, I'm honestly disappointed that Bosa got released, but at the same time, he just was not able to stay healthy. And even when he was healthy, just not the same player he once was. So I wish him the best of luck in Buffalo. I think the Chargers defensive line is good enough right now to where they didn't need Bosa and they save money from doing so. Justin Herbert spoke about Mike Williams, saying, quote, he's one of those guys that change the way you play football. 50-50 balls are not quite 50-50, end quote. And then the last thing that was notable from what went on, again, I'm not sitting there watching the practice. If I was, I'd be able to make a more in-depth video just going off of what I read. But Jim Harbaugh said his elite nine players who train at an elite level: Herbert, Mack, James, Tupelotu, Zion Johnson, Lab McConkey, Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, Diane Henley. Not a surprising list at all. I mean, he literally just named the best players on the team. So, I mean, yeah, you want to be the best, you got to train like the best, you got to work like them, and that's that. But just my excitement from the Chargers is through the roof. I didn't expect all that much last season. I did think they'd make the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but I didn't expect them to win a Super Bowl just given the fact that they didn't really have a lot of flexibility financially, and it was Jim Harbaugh's first season. But they end up winning 11 games over double digits, going to the playoffs as a wild card. But I think the goal now has to be the division, has to be to compete for a Super Bowl. Last season was a good step, but the Chargers still haven't won a playoff game with Justin Herbert. And with Jim Harbaugh, you're not here to win a playoff game. You're here to win multiple and go on to win a Super Bowl. That's what he does. He's a winner. And I think the Chargers have done the right moves this offseason. It hasn't been the sexiest, flashiest type of offseason, but the key pieces are certainly there. I mean, again, going out, like I said, and getting Mekhi Becton, also in the draft, getting Amarion Hampton, and of course, another receiver in Trey Harris. I just love what Los Angeles is doing. And they've just impressed me with this sneaky good offseason. I think they've set themselves up to be able to compete in the AFC West division. It's not going to be easy because Denver and Kansas City are very good. Chiefs are coming off of another Super Bowl appearance. The Broncos won double-digit games. But the Chargers, they've proven that they're right there. They're competing year after year. And now it's going to be a matter of just can they get over the hump. And Justin Herbert, he's going to have to continue to show his greatness. Last year, I thought he played the best football of his career. I mean, maybe statistically speaking, he didn't have the most yards and most touchdowns, but he was super efficient. And he didn't have much of a run game. I mean, the Chargers, they ran the ball against the bad teams, but against the good teams, the run game was non-existent. So that's why you go and you get Amarion Hampton. You increase the offensive line, even though it's basically the same offensive line with Becton, but now you got Zion at center and Bozeman over at left guard. You got some of the, arguably the best 1-2 tackle punch in Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. And it's just going to be a matter of development about Zion. Can he take that next leap? And same thing for even Becton. I mean, these guys are still young in their like mid-20s, so I'm excited about that. But week one is going to be the thing, is getting off to a good start. I actually like the Chargers schedule this year. They're going to be taking on the Chiefs week one. I don't love having to go to Brazil. I think it's a little bit ridiculous, if you ask me. But of course, you get 10 days of rest, and then you take on the Raiders and the Broncos, and then the New York Giants, who I don't think they're going to be that great. They're going to have a rookie quarterback more than likely starting in Jackson Dart. I mean, he might not even be the starter. It might be Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson. But yeah, I mean, it's just not a terrible schedule. But I feel like we'll find out pretty quickly how good the Chargers are in week one. I mean, if they can take out the Chiefs to start off the season, that would be great. I mean, you go and you look at last year's schedule in week one. I mean, the Chargers, they got off to a really good start. To be honest, they won the first two games, and then fortunately injuries started to kick in. They lost the next two. Health is going to be the thing, as it is for every team. Like, your goal is always to stay healthy. I think if the Chargers can stay healthy, they're going to be a 12-13 win team, and they're going to compete in the AFC. But it's your boy Thunder Alley. I'm out. Peace.